right, greetings, movie fans, and welcome to the latest episode of the Summer Movie Draft 2026. This is a particular episode where we're going to be dealing with the movies that were released over the weekend for July 31st to the August 2nd. And joining me for this particular episode is a long-awaited returning guest of Candace, who decided to take all of July off, apparently.
I mean, it wasn't on purpose. It was just the luck of the betting, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, I've only been here every single day because I host it. So, I mean, I've got very few movies that have been out there as well.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I didn't want to own either Spider-Man or the Odyssey, even though I knew they were going to make money, because I just, I'd rather have the fun, interesting
both,
ones. I'm the
I see.
A24 of
Okay.
this group.
That's true. That is true. Yes. So, as we always do at the very beginning, what have you been seeing lately, Candace? Because I know this will probably take a while, but to kind of narrow it down to probably the last two movies you just saw.
Well, I'm just counting up here.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Kind of figured
Uh,
you'd have a list handy because it actually has been like over a month that we've talked movies and all that sort of
yeah.
thing.
Okay, so in July, I finished my birth year challenge, which was to watch
Yes.
50 movies from 1970, well,
Mm-hmm.
from the year of your birth for the age
Yes.
that you're turning. So that was 50.
Yes.
I watched 25 movies from 1976 in July,
Wow.
because I had only watched 25. I was like, oh, geez. By sometime around May, I was like, oh, I haven't watched a movie from 1976 since the horror movie
Okay.
challenge. I'd
Yep.
better
Yep.
start working on some of these. So I had only watched like I think six maybe last year that
Mm-hmm.
I worked into my 100 horror movie challenge. And then I
Okay.
just kind of didn't do anything. And then it was like May. I was like, oh, I've only got like 3 months here to do this. And I actually only had until July 26th because on July 27th, I left for my cottage where
Oh, I
there
see.
is there's barely any cell service. There's certainly no internet. And the power is just solar. So I try not to,
Ah. Yeah.
right? It's like, yeah. So I wanted to get everything done before I went to my cottage. So I watched 25 movies from
Oh,
1976.
wow.
And then apparently I watched a bunch of other movies too, because I had to like read in between these. Apparently I also watched Predator Badlands, Ready or Not 2, the Anaconda remake, which actually
What
wasn't
did you
bad at
think? What
all.
did you think? Oh, okay, good. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I remember when it was announced and I was like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, this seems hilarious. I want to go see this. And then I just
Yep.
never did. And somehow it was just like, well, now that it's on stream,
It
and
was
I
released
could
at
watch
it
so
was
many
released
other
at Christmas
things.
time. It was
Yeah,
released at
it's such a,
Christmas time. I'm like, okay, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the ending where, maybe we'll have
Yeah.
J-Lo and Jack Black on an
Yeah,
adventure in
exactly.
an
Yeah.
X movie. Some random Christmas movies, just because every once in a while I needed a palate
Because yes,
cleanser.
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And Five Nights at Freddy's too, which was I think no, I spoke with the other person I do a podcast with about this. I had thought that I'd watched the first Five Nights at Freddy's,
Right.
but apparently I didn't, and I watched Five Nights at Freddy's too, and I was like, oh yeah, no, none
You are
of this is
so
familiar.
lost. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't, and I've never played the game, so it was fine. Like
Okay.
the movie was fine. I don't know that if I mean, I was able to figure it out pretty quickly who Matthew Lillard
Gotcha.
was and how, like, oh yeah, okay, brother and sister in this. Okay, I can figure
Yeah.
this out.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh yeah, I hadn't watched any of that. And then since August 1st, I am now in my 100 horror movies in 92 days challenge.
Ooh.
So the
Okay.
challenge is to watch 100 new to me movies, horror movies, from August 1st to October 31st, which is 92 days because that's just how the calendar works. And everybody who keeps going, well, why wouldn't you do 100 movies in 100 days? It's like, it's not the number of
No, that's not
days,
the yeah,
it's the
exactly.
three
Yeah.
months of like
Yeah.
October.
Yeah.
3 months of Halloween starts August
Yes.
1st, ends on October 31st.
And
So,
October 1st, yes.
I have watched 10 movies, horror movies
Ooh. Off
since,
that list, okay.
yeah.
And again, we are dealing with the 10th of August at this point, so
Yeah. I had downloaded a couple onto like my iPad to try to watch while I was up north, and so I managed to get a
mm-hmm.
few watched there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came home and I still had like a few more days. I came home midweek and still had the rest of the week off, which is
Okay.
always what I recommend people do. Come
Yes.
home a little bit early, have a couple of
Yeah.
days off still, and then the
Yeah.
weekend. So I managed to watch like 5 horror movies on the first day I was back. I was like, I'm just gonna sit here
Nice.
and watch a
All
bunch of
right.
movies. And then, a couple yesterday. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm all caught up. Though of course I can't watch one a day because that will only make 92. So I gotta
Yes, unfortunately, yeah, you have to double up some places and all that. Yeah.
I think I'll manage. I
Yeah,
did
exactly.
manage to get all 100 done last year and the year
Right.
before, I think. The first year I
Mm-hmm.
did it, I went in, I started late, I was not prepared, I didn't. So I think I only got about 86 done my first year.
Oh
I know.
no, 86 in
Yeah.
90 days.
Yeah.
Well, obviously less than 90 because you said you started
Yeah.
late. So yeah.
Yes. And yes to all the listeners. Yes, there are 100 horror movies I haven't seen. There are 100 horror movies practically from this year that I haven't seen
It's I
because
was
there's
just
so
about to
many
point out.
horror
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
And not only
This year
that,
alone, yeah.
there's also more movies than are just released in North America. There's also movies
Yep.
from other countries that we just don't ever
Mm-hmm.
hear about.
For
So
sure, yeah.
this year I'm focusing on just getting through my watch list. I have like 153 movies in the horror genre on my watch list. So
Okay. All
I,
right.
I would like to just, get some of those out. Like, oh, look at this movie
Sweet.
that's been on my watch list since like 2018. Maybe I should watch it.
Nice.
And
All
those
right.
movies that, are just from the 70s that I've just never gotten around to. But
Okay, so quick question.
Mhm.
From your birthday watch, what was your favorite movie of the movies that you had to watch for your birthday?
That is an excellent question. And I have been sort of like I'm wanting to write up like a bit of a blog post recap or some sort of like
Okay. Right.
couple of essays about it because I there were a lot of different themes that really
Mm-hmm.
ended up being covered. Um, let me just do this
Well,
list order.
76 would have been a very interesting year also to pick from. Like movies from the 70s are just a different animal altogether.
Oh
Like,
yeah, and like 76 especially. So I was writing out some
mm-hmm,
notes to try to think about like different themes I want to write about, and one of them
mm-hmm.
is the whole like new Hollywood thing, which technically
Yeah.
sort of starts like at like 69,
Yeah,
70.
late 60s. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
in
Yeah.
fact, when I rewatched Psycho during my Hitchcock thing, I was like, "Oh
Uh-huh.
my God, this scene between Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh when they're
Mm-hmm.
talking in the back room over sandwiches." I'm like, "This is like old Hollywood and new Hollywood in the same frame." Like they're just because
Yeah.
even though Anthony Perkins had been working for a while,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
had that sort of Marlon Brando, Montgomery Clift kind of delivery that was really like not polished. And just
Mm-hmm.
like he didn't have, Janet Leigh speaking with that, whatever they call it, the Atlantic accent, right? That like not quite
Yeah.
British accent that,
Yes.
posh Americans have.
Yep.
And
Posh American. Yeah, that
yeah,
sounds
and he's
good.
just talking like a normal person. I'm like, oh my God, this is like, and I've seen that movie so many times, but this is why
Hmm.
you rewatch movies and also why you watch so many more movies because you learn all the time. So I'd never really looked at it that way, going, this is like new Hollywood versus old Hollywood right here in this scene. And new Hollywood kills old Hollywood. Spoilers
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
a 70-year-old
Yeah.
movie or
Literally.
whatever.
Literally
Yeah.
does. Yes. Yes.
But yeah, so there was a lot of like new Hollywood films, with like Taxi Driver came out.
Hmm. Hmm.
Carrie, Mikey and Nikki, which is a movie. It was actually quite good, though. It was like it is the epitome of like watching people just talk for 2 hours and like
Oh, really?
not. I mean, there is basically it's just like kind of survive the night. So I can't remember which one is which because their names are Mikey and Nikki, and that's kind of the
Gotcha.
point.
Yep.
But we'll say Mikey is like, I don't know, a hitman or something like that, and something goes wrong, and now he's holed up in a hotel room because he thinks people are coming after him to kill him. And Nikki is his like
Okay.
best friend from like since they were school kids. They've grown up together in this city, and he's like, "Oh my God, you got to help me. They're out to kill me." And so they just go through a variety of different like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? Well, how about we go to the movies? Let's go get out of this hotel room. We're gonna go hide at the movies. Okay, movie's done. What are we gonna do? We're gonna go hide. We're gonna just go sit at this diner for a while. Okay, we're gonna get on the bus. We're gonna go to the cemetery. And it's just the two of them back and forth talking and getting angry at each other and like bringing up all of the things that, are wrong with each other and their friendship. And it's like, it's a movie. It's not a movie that has no point because it does have a point. But,
Okay.
when you talk about like Dazed and Confused, right? When it's just like,
Yeah.
it's just one night in a bunch of kids' lives. They're all just living their life. And then the sun comes up, and that's sort of it. This is like such a precursor to that.
Okay. All
Just
right.
like these two guys, it's just like the story of friendship.
And may I ask who is in it?
Yes, John Cassavetes um,
Oh, okay.
plays. I don't know if he plays Mikey, but that's the name that I've said. So he plays the like
Okay.
guy who's holed up going, "Oh my God, people are trying to kill me."
Right.
And Peter Falk plays the other guy, his best friend.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
now you've really actually piqued my interest.
I highly
Wow.
recommend it. I gave it 4.5 stars, and I think the only reason why I didn't give it 5 stars is because I don't want to say it didn't hurt to watch it, but it was just like there were times that I was like,
There was a, yeah, no, I know what
can
you're saying. Like
I
a
just
bit of a
want
struggle, a bit of
something
a
to happen, or
resistance to,
also
yeah. Okay.
both of the guys are not good people, so you don't really have anyone
Mm-hmm.
to root for, and they both kind of do
Gotcha.
bad things, and it's sort of
Okay.
like, yeah, yeah. But also directed by a woman, Elaine May, who
Okay.
is like a director's director. Like if
Okay.
you watch the Criterion Closet videos where people are
Yeah.
like, "Oh, here's my favorite movies," they always
Her
grab
name
John.
comes up quite a bit.
Yeah, it's always, "Oh my God, Mikey and Nikki, I've got to take this. It's so great, John Cassavetes." And then they turn around and they grab um, either the John Cassavetes five
Right.
collection
Yeah. Yes,
or
exactly. Yeah.
the one with Gina Rollins where she's an addicted mom. That which name I can't think of at the moment because I didn't
Okay.
think I would think about it, and I haven't seen. Oh, A Woman Under the Influence. That's it.
There you go.
Um, and then it's actually kind of like I watch so many Criterion Collection that I like a person walks in there and I'm like, I can pretty much tell you what they're gonna choose even before they start choosing it, especially because
Right.
I recognize where people are looking and where they're grabbing. So
Right. And
because I
they
see
don't move those around. They're
no, because they're
always
in
in the same
alphabetical
location.
order.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, it's I'm addicted to watching the Criterion Closet, frankly.
Nice, nice.
But yeah, so that was like a really pleasant. I really enjoyed watching that. Obviously, like The Omen and Carrie and Taxi Driver and Rocky, like these are all,
Yeah.
those weren't
Yeah.
like things I discovered. There was also the very last movie I watched was so striking. It was called Harlan County, USA, and it's a documentary
Oh,
about
okay. All right.
coal miners in Harlan County. And they went on strike for 13 months. And this is
Whoa.
like the documentarian, again, another woman, made by a woman. Documentarian was there the whole time because she had actually started a documentary about the election of the new president of the mining union.
Okay.
WMNA, I think is what Mine Workers Union. So she had
Right.
started doing a documentary about that, but while she was doing that documentary, this group of workers went on strike because they're trying to get a contract from their employer. And she decided that was a more interesting story and moved on to that. And it was fascinating. It was such, these people are all really lovable and human, even though they're so unlike us,
Okay.
right? And like
Gotcha.
all the wives too, the wives and the mothers and the widows all also took part in this strike. And like there's a, because it's directed by women, we get a lot of time with the women and how
Okay.
they, yeah. So yes, there you go. Both Criterion
Excellent.
picks, but
All right.
go, yeah,
Yeah.
watch Mikey
Oh, that's
and Harlan
fantastic.
County,
Yeah.
USA.
Yeah, definitely have to myself look those up. Those sound, especially when you said Cassavetes and Falk. I'm like, oh no, I definitely no,
Yeah.
that definitely, yeah. You've if you started off with that, I bet my interest would have been piqued long before. But
Yeah, I will say there was one John Cassavetes movie that came out in 76 called The Killing of a Chinese Bookie, which
yes,
came
I'm
out in
aware of that one. Yeah.
76. And then there was arguments. He wanted it to be 13 minutes longer or something like that. And so the
Yeah.
78, in 78, he was able to re-release it. And the 78 version was technically what I watched. And he was wrong. He didn't need those extra
It didn't
minutes.
need the 13
No, it
minutes.
did not
Okay.
need the extra minutes, and I found it, I really struggled watching it. Ben Gazzara was in it as the like main guy, and he was
Hmm.
amazing. And I think that that's the only reason why I was able to keep watching. This was New Hollywood in like bright neon letters. Like,
Gotcha. Yeah. All right. I see what you're saying. All right.
yeah.
All right. So on that note, we're going to get back into the actual game that we are playing. So to begin with, every single time we enter into a new episode, we decide to talk about the domestic box office releases of the movies that previously came out in the previous weekend. And like I'd already mentioned, we're dealing with the weekend of the July 31st to August 2nd. And in reverse order, here is our top 10. 10th place is something that is listed on the system as Cat Video Fest 2026, which itself brought in $568,000.
I
In
just
ninth,
hate society. I don't know what that is, but I
yep,
just hate
no,
our
I
society.
didn't even bother to look into it. So in ninth place was The Invite, which brought in $717,000. Premiering in eighth place is Ice Cream Man, which pulled in just over $2 million. Seventh place was Moana with $2.8 million. Sixth place was Minions and Monsters with $3.5 million. Fifth place was Toy Story 5, which brought in another $3.9 million. Premiering in fourth place was Super Troopers, bringing in $4 million. In third place, premiering at third place was One Night Only, bringing in $5.7 million. In second place was The Odyssey with an added $31.5 million to its total. And again, the number one movie being Spider-Man Brand New Day brought in a extra $145 million on the weekend. So just to point it out, a couple of the movies on this list, which would be One Night Only, Super Troopers, and The Ice Cream Man, belong to Candace. However,
Yeah.
another movie of Candace's also, while we thought was pushed off to next week, actually did get a release this particular weekend and put it in 14th place. And that is Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Misama. Is that it correctly?
Miasma.
Miasma.
I thought it was miasma, but having watched the trailers, it's
Okay.
miasma. And also,
Miasma.
so this was supposed to come out this weekend, and I was so excited. It's been on my
Mm-hmm.
calendar for the
Mm-hmm.
Friday last like day of my not because the weekend, but like last vacation
Yes.
day. I'm like, I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
gonna go to the theater. I'm gonna go see Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. I have been looking forward to this movie for so long. And then I would like stay and maybe watch Spider-Man because
Watch
that's
another
kind
movie.
of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
only
exactly.
other thing I want to see. Actually, I was intrigued to see Ice Cream Man,
Yep. But
but things have been said about that movie that have made
wow,
it
I know
really interesting
it's
to not, yeah.
unavoidable to. I mean, I can't see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was so excited. And then I kept looking, going, okay, when can I like buy tickets for Friday? And I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, it's not here. And so then
Yeah.
I looked, I'm like, oh, it's been changed to August 14th, which is frustrating. And then on top of that, it's also changed to August 14th, limited screens opening
Mm-hmm.
wide August 21st, which means that it's not coming to Guelph whatsoever. So
Nope.
I'm going to have to rent a car and go to another city to go see this movie, which is annoying as shit.
Yeah.
And also, it's weird because it was released on 5 screens this
Yep.
weekend. And I
Yep.
think that that's just people who had the movie already and went, you know what? I don't care that the release date has been moved. We have it here. We're going to show it. We don't have anything
Yep.
to fill this spot.
Mm.
And I think 5 theaters were like, I
Well,
didn't get the memo. Sorry.
yeah, exactly. Well, five theaters did make $251,000.
Yeah.
So it puts it on the list, but unfortunately puts it behind the Cat Video Fest 2026.
Uh,
Yeah, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, Cat Video Fest? What the frack? All
I know.
right. So basically, what we do is the real fun in this game is, first of all, at the very beginning, we divide up all the movies that get released in the summertime between the contestants that are playing. We have four contestants this particular year, and we basically are given an allotment of points, and we bid to see who gets what movies into whoever's roster and all that. And then the winner of the particular game is who has the most culminated box office draw by the end of the game. So we're just going to start on our list. And to make it a little more interesting, I'm going to do stuff in reverse this time. I usually start off number one and go down. You know what? I'm going to go backwards because
Okie dokie.
in basically last place of all the movies so far is Corporate Retreat, which has brought in a grand total of, I'm saying grand total because it has not moved since this number for about 3 weeks now, of $381,000.
Ooh, that is such a bomb.
Carolina Carolyn is next with $382,000. Like we already mentioned, teenage sex and death at Camp, what is it again? Miasma, not Miasma, brought in $475,000. The movie I Want Your Sex is at $600,000. Girls Like Girls is at $2.7 million. Power Ballad is at $3.3 million. And Ice Cream Man enters our list with $3.6 million. Now, the rest of our movies are actually fall onto the Box Office Mojo Top 200, where they list all the movies that got released within a particular year and list them by their worldwide totals. So according to the list, we're just going to go through, according to our game, we're just going to list those names that are actually in the list instead of going through all 200. So in 200th place is Super Troopers 3 with $4 million. 199th place is Stop That Train with $4 million. Well, in 162nd place is Candace's One Night Only with $5.7 million. 144th place is The Death of Robin Hood with $6.9 million. In 130th place is Leviticus with $8.5 million. In 123rd place is I Love Boosters with $9.7 million. 87th place is Pressure with $19 million. In 84th place is Hadestown the Musical with 20,217,000. I say that only because 83rd place is The Breadwinner with 20 million. 65th place is Jackass Best and Last with $27.5 million. 59th place is Passenger with $31.6 million. 49th place, Young Washington with $46.8 million. 40th place is Evil Dead Burn with $61.6 million. In 31st place is Masters of the Universe with $113.7 million. 29th place is Supergirl with $126.1 million. 19th place goes to Scary Movie with $231.4 million. 18th place is Disclosure Day with $240 million. 15th place is Moana with $280 million. 13th place goes to Star Wars The Mandalorian Grogu with $345 million. 11th place goes to Backroom with $395 million. 10th place is Minions and Monsters with $400 million. Third place is Toy Story 5 with $1,093 million. Second place is The Odyssey with $1,104 million. And the number one movie of 2026 so far, Spider-Man Brand New Day with $1,665 million. So
That's crazy.
It is.
The Odyssey, like people talked about how people were buying tickets a year in advance. It was going to be so, and
Mm-hmm.
it is huge, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But like,
Yes.
I don't think anybody thought Spider-Man Brand New Day would just like overtake it on first weekend.
Yeah. No, for sure. Spider-Man Brand New Day broke almost all of the records for biggest Thursday, fastest to 500 million, biggest Friday, biggest Saturday. The only thing it didn't do was make biggest weekend, which currently is still being held by Avengers Endgame. But
Mhm.
Spider-Man Brand New Day beat all the other ones, which was held by, oh, sorry, the Thursday was held by Star Wars The Force Awakens as the biggest Thursday, but the Friday and Saturday and that it had beaten out was owned by Endgame. And again, the record for the quickest to $500 million as well is also an impressive thing.
Yeah. I kind of
Um,
feel like the Odyssey ended up just being like a trailer for Spider-Man. Like people walked out of the Odyssey and went, "Great, I got to see more Tom
bring on
Holland, more
Spider-Man now. Yeah,
Zendaya,
exactly. More,
more."
exactly. More
John Barenthal.
Punisher. John
Yeah,
Barenthal, exactly. More
yeah,
John Barenthal,
yeah. I need
exactly,
more of
exactly.
all of these
Yeah.
actors. They're almost
Yes,
all in
exactly.
Spider-Man.
Exactly, yeah. Well, actually, you haven't seen Spider-Man yet, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay, and you haven't seen the Odyssey yet, right? Have you?
I have not, but
Okay.
I do know some names of some people.
Yeah, so one of the really cool things about watching the Odyssey and then Spider-Man is going into knowing that John Barenthal and Tom Holland from trailers have scenes together in
Mm,
Spider-Man. So when they are in scenes together in Odyssey, these guys look like they're so comfortable with each other. And it's
mm,
obviously clearly it is. And just to put it out there, in Spider-Man, they have the exact same chemistry. They look like they're like buddies for a while that still don't know each other very well, but they still treat each other with respect and all that sort of thing, which is exactly how the relationship comes to be in the Odyssey. So we now have a version of the inkling of the relationship
yeah,
in the Odyssey as it expands into Spider-Man, which is just kismet that it's just a week
wild.
apart is what happened with that.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't know who, like, I don't know how this happened. Like, it's wild. Has this ever happened before that, like, two huge
I
tent
yeah.
poles
Yeah.
starring the same people come
Yeah.
out so
Yeah.
close together?
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
so bizarre. I mean,
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
understand why some movies have maybe said, let's maybe push our release
yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
let's
Yeah,
just give it a
exactly.
couple
Yeah.
weekends.
All right. So when we come down to numbers, I will tell you everyone that for the group, the running totals right now, all the movies that are currently playing in our game have a total of 6,346,564,894. So that brings it up. Who's in what position for the actual running totals so far? So we're going to have the little breakdown right now. In fourth place, out of our game of four people, is Candace, who broke $1 billion a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, couldn't do
She's
it while I was still on the show,
couldn't do it
but
while you're still there. You came so close, though. You were
I
like
know
so close. Exactly. So you are at $1,019,000,000
I'm coming up
in.
next weekend though,
Oh
because
yeah,
Paw Patrol's
you're
coming out.
definitely gonna, yes. Paw Patrol is definitely, but more on that later. In third place is Mitch with $1,520,000,000. Second place is Dan with $1,754,000,000. And first place, coming from last place of last week,
Yeah,
is myself, Troy, with $2,051,000,000.
crazy. You
So
haven't been in first in any week of the entire
no,
2 years we've done
nope. Exactly.
this.
This is the first time I've been
I
on the
was like,
top, and
yeah. When you
yeah,
said it's Mitch in third, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, because Dan with the Odyssey, yeah.
the Odyssey.
And
Yeah,
then you said
exactly.
Dan next. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
This math isn't working. Hold on.
yeah. Well, to put the numbers out there, prior to this, I was sitting at about like 390, 400 million for the
Yeah.
longest time because my movies just unfortunately did not play through. I played more with like stuff that I hoped would work out but didn't.
Hmm.
But yeah, getting a boost of $1.6 billion will definitely
Yeah.
add you to a higher number for sure. Yeah.
Like, yeah, more
Yeah.
more than any one person had for all of their movies combined.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, again, another 2 months to go. Like Candace had pointed out, next week she has Paw Patrol Dino Rescue coming out, which is also playing up against another dinosaur film, which is The End of Oak Street, who is a movie that belongs to Mitch. So hopefully we'll be able to get Mitch on for next week. And yeah, there you go. All right. So you want to add anything else to this particular podcast there, Miss Candace?
My God, no, I've already talked so much about what I've done all summer. I already did my first day back at school presentation.
All right. Okay. So with that being said, thank you, Candace, for joining me for this particular episode. We are basically, this is the gonna have to check that because I think this is our 12th week in a row of doing this podcast. So we're like halfway through this whole entire thing. So thank you, audience, for joining us. And until next time we see you, we'll see you at the box office. This has been the Summer Movie Draft, a Planet Geek production. Please be sure to subscribe, download, comment, share, rate, and review. You can follow Planet Geek Productions on all of our social medias. Through Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Tumblr, and Letterboxd, search for Planet Geek Productions. On X, former Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky, search for Planet Geek Pod. Or you can send us an email at planetgeekpod@gmail.com. If you'd like to contribute to our GoFundMe, or just buy us a coffee, check out our GoFundMe and Ko-Fi links in the description. Thanks for tuning in.